I mean, during the COVID, clearly on the grounds, we saw that, the economy will not behave as an economy that we know. During the COVID, everybody knows that globally things were not going well. But what was our posture when it comes to our expenditure? It was within this COVID that we had what we call the Fiscal Responsibility Act. But then the finance minister in his budget review asked permission to go to Parliament to go and review, this Fiscal Responsibility Act so that they can have that space of borrow. We had not hesitated IMF by that time. And clearly, this tells you that when we were with IMF, we were doing very well. We were gearing towards the target IMF, gave us. Budget deficit of about 5%, which is going to tame down, our borrowing and all those. But immediately we jumped into COVID, which under normal circumstances, we were supposed to adapt that conserved, management skills. We were rather aggressive. We were rather spending as if there's a big future out there for this economy. And as a result of that, when you spend, we should be able to rake in during, the bigger economic outlook that we expected. But that wasn't the case. We were spending our way through, but then in the end, the benefit that the economy is supposed to reap, right, is not being realized. When, you look at this, it tells you that, look, indeed, this country knew we're supposed to go to IMF. Year levy has been introduced. If we go to IMF right now, IMF will definitely come in hitting on our balance sheet. So obviously, we look at the expenditure. Now, the expenditure, are we prepared politically to sacrifice some of the social spendings that we've been doing? Typical example is free SHS.
But hold on
now,
there.
Recently, there has been agitation at the labor front asking for COLA. When we go to IMF, are we prepared, to sacrifice that aspect? And I presume that at that point, IMF will be in control. So whatever labor front will be asking for, the reference will be that in the midst of IMF, we cannot, give out this COLA. So there's pressure on the economy. And that is why I believe that government had to seek refuge, with IMF. And so I'm not surprised we are going to IMF. I see it clearly. But we should be ready, to sacrifice. But, in as much as we go, of course, every, sacrifice that we do, we must expect a benefit. And I can say that while going to IMF, obviously will give us that kind of soft benefit, which is the fiscal discipline that we're going to enjoy, and then also the credibility that we're going to have as a result of having IMF in our midst. Now, this credibility, I'm praying that this credibility that we're going to enjoy will not push our economic management to continue to borrow as we're doing earlier, but rather the credibility should help us to renegotiate some of our debt that is putting pressure on our balance sheet. So effectively, this is what we're supposed to expect. And the reason and then the antecedent of this country going to IMF is what I've indicated to you.